Man, remember when we were doing a Donkey Kong video series?
No, I've been too busy doing a bunch of other stuff. But I suppose we can come back to this.
So, Chaos Core it's kind of garbage. Like, this world has like 3 of the worst gimmicks in the game, so...
Lightning Lookout, the Poisonous Pipe, and what?
Coin Dozers. Coin Dozers hitboxes are just absolutely fucked.
I'll agree with that. Coin Dozer would be better if it... Oh yeah. Coin Dozer would be better if it just better box. We'll talk about that.
Anyway, specifically, this world also has some completely fucking garbage bonus placements.
Oh. That's not...
Yeah, I don't know how many of you saw my tweet from, I guess, at time of recording the other day, but, yeah, I fell down. I think it was specifically Coin Dozer Clamber, but I fell down. I threw myself deliberately into every single pit in the level, and I only found one of the bonuses.
And I'm assuming that's the one you found.
Yes, the one in the pit was the one that I found.
Well, I look forward to seeing where the second one is. Also, I didn't even pay attention to the fact that we have monkeys throwing nuts in this level.
Yeah, it's a different twist.
Oh, hey, Tracker Barrel. Well, he really likes that setup with the bees. And the barrels. Oh.
There are a few mistakes like that, because... So, when I'm practicing this stuff and I'm trying to find the bonuses, I, like, have a notepad that I jot stuff down on, so, as I'm going. And I practiced the first half of this world about 2 weeks before I actually recorded it, so... There's a lot of... So, for example, when you saw me just miss that end there, that was me looking at my notes and going, beneath the second B? What the fuck is the second B?
And then right into a pit. So I noticed you started with only 5 lives. How in the world will you manage to get through all of this without getting a game over? Oh, for really?
Yeah. What, that wasn't the first place you would have looked?
I mean, I don't know. I guess that's why you're the one playing and not me.
I mean, I actually thought that was a pretty fair one.
I suppose so. It's just... The original games had banana signposting in most every situation I can think of.
Oh no, he's absolutely gotten worse about banana signposting this late in the game.
Well, I was talking about the original game, but I suppose this as well.
Right, what I'm saying... But, like, the gist of it is that if Rare had done that, there would have been something that would have pointed you up.
There would have been, like, a single banana visible through the leaves. Which is exactly what they did in some points.
And he did that earlier in the game. He's done that a lot less the farther we get in.
Yeah, don't forget at the same time you had... the one that was just above the dock. Or above some of the dock pieces or whatever, and it was like, where in the hell do I go and find this one? Where in the hell is this? Oh, I guess the steel barrel would have been in the bird.
Yeah, it was in the bird.
Funky Kong will never make his helicopter at this rate.
Hey, you know what? I don't think we really... Do you really want just kind of somebody to wing it and build you a helicopter? That seems incredibly unsafe.
He made him out of coins, too.
Ah, yeah, coins. That aerodynamic thing that we all know and love.
It's perfectly suited for the job. I'm gonna be real here, I'm not really sure where the old level ended and the modified level begins in this one. I guess that pit wasn't there before.
No, that is a death pit, by the way. I don't know why it's there, but...
There's just something about it. I can see now, but that opening was very much... like...
Oh no, it was suspicious as hell. That's how I know it's a death pit.
Just like that was suspicious?
Oh no, that was... Okay, so that jump specifically... No, that was, in my notes, that was from the second red B, shoot up left. Now, as soon as we get there, you will know exactly what I meant when I wrote down, from the second red B, shoot up left. But as someone who had not played this level in 2 weeks, I was like, what the fuck does this mean? There's like 3 red Bs right here.
You need a better system. I liked this level as a kid.
I mean, I don't mind this level even now. Like, even this weird modified version of it I think is fine. Like, this and the first level are honestly the 2 least egregious parts of this entire world.
I can only imagine what they've done to Lightning Lookout. That level was awful even in the original.
Lightning Lookout, honestly, it isn't really hard, but it's finicky, is what is the problem with it.
This version? Oh, I see, second B. Okay.
See, like I said, as soon as you see it, it's like, oh, I totally understand why I wrote this down like this, but...
But there's more than one red B. This level is... I like this level. We started to say it, but it was definitely one that I got better at over time when I was a kid, because this world gave me so much trouble. Lightning Lookout, oh. That level.
I will still swear to the end of time that Poison Pipeline is the worst level in this game.
I never had that much problem with Poison Pipeline. Probably because I had the player's guide, and I knew On Guard was in a bonus. I don't know, no problem. Or less of a problem than I did with Lightning Lookout. Oh. I was about to say, so what do you do in that situation?
You get fucked, because this section is a Dixie exclusive.
This is not good, actually. The rest of the level was good. This is not good. I was at home over the weekend and I pulled my Super Nintendo out of the drawer that it's been in for the last basically 10 years. I've pulled it out on occasion in the past, but it's just nice to kind of see it and like just kind of... It's way lighter than I remembered for a console, you know? Like these days you pick up your console, except the Switch, which is specifically very light. And it's just, I don't know, there's something nice about it. Mine's never really yellowed either. Probably because it was I got it with Donkey Kong Country Original, so it's not like a release model.
Yeah, that probably helps.
But that's nice. It's cool to just have it out.
I know mine got sold, God, probably around the time, like, early 2000s, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
So, honestly, that's part of why I got the SNES Mini, because it's just, like, I almost never play it, but I just like to have it.
Yeah. I mean, Ty bought a Super NT, and he brought that with him when he came down to visit. And it was fun just using his SC to SNES to do other stuff as well. It's just a good time, really. Because there's just something nice about playing it on, like, he has actual controllers, you know, proper old stock controllers. And so, it's nice. I don't know. The nice thing about that, of course, is that you get the proper HD output.
Well, here it is.
Here we go. Nice save state.
It's the first and only one you'll see in this entire LP.
Oh, no.
So, fun fact, Squawks can totally just swim.
I imagine he can because he's not programmed.
Water just doesn't exist to him. It's the exact same as flying.
That makes sense.
You know, other than the obvious caveat that in this level, if you're in water when the lightning goes off, you get hurt.
That was actually a lot less Squawks than I thought. I figured the whole level was going to be him.
So, remember when I said this is a bit finicky?
What just happened there with... like, you died, you went up into the bird...
I got hit by the clobber into the bird, and I died. The lightning hit the bird, which dropped the TNT. You're supposed to use the clobber to throw into him.
I feel like you need an instant replay, but... this is how video games work, right?
Yeah, there is probably a solid 5 minutes of footage that was cut that was just that bonus right there.
And then you didn't even do it like it was intended, you just slipped through the crack. I think it would have been a lot more interesting had it been continual Squawks level.
I actually would agree with that. I mean, this is...
it was such a short intro.
This part of the level is fine. I mean, it's basically just more Lightning Lookout.
This looks easier than the original, because the original had you deal with the water a lot more throughout the entire thing. This is just, you can take your time, I say, as you get struck by lightning. But you can just take your time going through and get struck by lightning again. Please, video, stop disproving my point.
I mean, to be fair, there is an awful lot of, fuck it, I'm going fast, I'm done with this shit.
I know. But the original made you interact with the water hazard a lot more. You had to make quick dips in and out. In this, so far, you've barely had to. Oh, no.
Yeah, Lightning Lookout on its own probably has as much footage as the entire rest of this world.
Mm-hmm. At least getting back into this isn't so bad. They made this level significantly easier in the GBA, and the reason is the lightning just doesn't strike as fast. There's more of a time between.
Isn't it like every 5 seconds instead of every 2 seconds?
It's paced about... well, this bonus game is kind of erratic. I would say it's paced like the slower strikes here in this bonus game. It's like half as often, basically. So it makes it a lot easier to get through. But this was absolutely my stumbling block when I was a kid. Because coming off of 5 lives after beating Razor Ridge, not deciding, hey, I'm gonna go back and get some lives from early levels, or being smart and, like, leaving to save. Yeah, it just ended up being... it was hard. That's what made the victory even sweeter.
I don't mind Lightning Lookout that much. I think it's honestly has... its bark is much worse than its bite.
These days, yeah. These days it's not so bad. You can kind of just get into a rhythm with it. I mean, we're talking about 7-year-old me or something like that. It's still idiot child.
So Coin Dozer Clamber, like I said, this is actually probably my favorite level in this world. Like this is like just straight up a really good level, as long as the hitboxes cooperate.
That's how the original was too. Why is the O already here? Did we really already? I didn't even notice we got the K. Holy crap. The original was very much the same way. It just had... I do remember there being some instance where the coin dozers just can get into a real pattern where it's hard to... whatever, just to dodge them. Oh no, is this time for... Where's the bonus room? Really?
Presented without comment. It was a trick so nice they had to do it twice.
But I have a feeling that it's actually 3 times. Oh, they didn't take away that setup.
I like this. This is a good coin setup.
It's actually It's a little bit dangerous to the player. Though I remember in the original, they kept it so that the... Okay. So that the coin dozers don't... In the first half, they're stationary. In the second half, they start moving. It's that classic game design thing, you know?
Yep, introduce the gimmick safely, then you escalate, yada yada yada.
Yep. That whole thing that I've built my entire ROM hacking career around.
Does one truly ever have a ROM hacking career?
Yes, certain folks definitely do on SMW Central. And technically I've been in the scene since I was 14, so that's over half my life. I guess I should be getting paid by now. What a fool am I.
Like I said, I really like that level. That flows really, really well. It's just, you can also get fucked at the slightest touch.
I'm gonna say it a different way. The level was fine, but I think it was also fine because it basically didn't look to be any much different than the original.
Anyway, Poison Pipeline. For those of you who are not aware of this level's gimmick, as long as you are in the water, left is right and right is left.
Yeah, reverse controls.
But it's not reverse controls, because up and down are not switched. And that is what will fuck you.
I don't know. Maybe it's because I never really did do much with up and down. But I was always able to just parse it as left-right and deal with it that way.
Well, it doesn't really affect much when you're playing as the Kongs, because your primary up and down just comes from swimming with B. But if you get on guard, that's where it gets really fucky.
I don't know, I just... This looks weird, I'll say right now, this setup. But, I don't know, I never... Even with the not in reverse vertical controls, I never found myself having that much trouble with controlling on guard. Does he exist in this level?
He sure does. He's right up here.
The one thing this level does definitely have going for it is enemy density. There are quite a few enemies in this level, even in the original. But that's why getting on guard is useful, because he sticks around for the middle third or so.
Yeah, you can see that I'm doing the vast majority of my movement just with Y, and because up and down aren't reversed. So I don't know, I cannot handle the left-right switch and up-down not.
I feel like I remember this from the actual DKC3 LP, where you mostly control him just by stabbing forward.
Plus, you know, it's on guard. It's safer anyway.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's okay. He is significantly less useful in this.
Well, I mean, we're at the halfway point, so...
Well, the thing in the original was just that he sticks around for a tiny bit after the halfway, which means that you spawn in as him when you die.
Fortunately, like pretty much every single water area in this game, you can avoid like 99% of the enemies by just going to the very top or very bottom of where you're at.
Yeah, the pipelines have some generous, like, collision. I always hated urchins, dealing with them as a kid, just because of the timing involved to like, take them out. But then I also realized that, like, the ones that are moving fast enough basically have their shells open or often enough that you can pretty much just attack without worry. It's the slow ones that you, ironically, have to watch out for a little bit more.
And there's not a whole lot to say about Poison Pipeline, to be honest. Like I said, 99% of the difficulty comes from having your controls reversed, so there's really not much to say other than that bonus warps you directly to the end, and you should absolutely take it every single time.
It's really weird, actually, that this is like the final level, quote unquote, not actually. You know?
Hey, for a large number of people, it's probably the last level.
Yeah, which makes it even weirder, because it's kind of a strange one to end on.
In all honesty, Lightning Lookout would be a much better...
Then again, Screech's Sprint was the final level of DKC2, and that's kind of a strange gimmick one anyways, so who knows. What do I know about game design? Ah, yes. Mr. Cool Shades Robot.
Well, you know, he is the most important character in this game.
Are we actually going to get to see K. Rool this time, or is he going to be mysteriously scrolled off screen like in our other LP?
Oh no, you get to see him.
Okay, I was worried about that silence.
I had to think for a second about what you even meant by that, and I was like, oh, wait, right, because I hit him, like, all the way in the fucking corner.
Yeah, or no, you hit him in the corner or something, and the camera never scrolled over to show K. Rool, so you got to see, like, his glove gesturing wildly, but that was it, and we were cracking up at the time. There he is.
I will say, I appreciate that in between games, K. Rool went and got married, settled down, built a nice home.
And built a robot.
And a robot, but you know, there's only so much you can get out of an evil genius. Trying to integrate them back into society.
And now he's back stomping people into oblivion in Smash Brothers. It's wonderful.
I'm actually kind of disappointed that he doesn't have alts based on his DKC2 and 3 appearances.
I know. I appreciate that components of them show up, but he really should have.
Like, who gives a shit about Blue K. Rool? Like, give me fucking Captain K. Rool.
Give me Baron K. Rool. Give me the boxing gloves K. Rool. I mean, like we said, elements of the costumes show up. Like, he's got the gun and the pirate hat when he does his bazooka. He has the jetpack for his recovery. He's got the boxing gloves from DKC3, you know? But the costumes themselves...
Like I said, I will fight anyone who says, actually, Purple K. Rool is a better contribution to Smash Brothers than K. Rool in a lab coat. I'm just saying. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that I said this the last time we did this too, but this fight is really easy. Like, way easier than it has any right to be.
Compared to DKC2, it's pretty easy. It challenged me a lot as a kid. I remember, you know, taking multiple deaths, trying to figure them out, and get further and further through every time. Because it is long. It's just not...
Yeah, it's a very long fight. It's what? 9? It's 2 on Chaos. It's 2 on Chaos plus 9 more on K-Rool himself.
Yeah. The sub fight is much harder. Well, I say much harder, but it's much more finicky. I like this one a lot more, though.
Well, you can take everything at your pace on this one, is kind of the big thing. Is that K-Rool never does anything to actively attack you. It's literally based entirely on you jumping on the platforms and you just ducking underneath him and all that stuff.
Yeah. It's a platforming boss, basically. But the sub fight is... I mean, he does attack you, kind of. But what's more annoying with the sub fight is just the... Really, we're going there?
In my defense, did you see him, like, literally just slide halfway across that fucking...
Slide off the platform. That's classic Donkey Kong, right there. It's the damn electrical arcing in the other one, and having to use the steel barrel to prevent it, and ugh.
To be fair, that is a really cool gimmick, even if it is kind of finicky.
It's cool. It's just, you're gonna see it the first time and be like, what just happened? Or not understand it. And then the other problem with it was just like, then the conveyors start. And then you have to avoid that with the conveyor. It's just, it was tricky. This is the last hit, isn't it? Yeah. I forget if you can just drop the barrel on him as he goes back and forth.
You actually can't. If you do, it hits his propeller and it breaks immediately.
Nice. There he goes, and he just falls into his, I don't know, into his cellar or something. Nice job, you beat the ROM hack.
Did we, though?
Yeah, we all know what's coming next.
I mean, we've finished the ROM hack. We haven't completed it, though.
Well, we won't complete it either, because you're not funding Funky's weird helicopter dreams.
Look, man, I'm not giving anybody 35 fucking gold coins.
You're not gonna trust Funky Kong?
There are so many problems with his design on that, I don't even know where to start. Anyway, the credits are mostly unchanged. I'll let this speak for itself.
Ah, yes. I remembered that perfectly.
So, the way that the game gets these screenshots for the pictures here is that it literally loads the enemy into some given level. And a lot of these levels have been changed.
I think this is actually kind of neat to see from a technical perspective how they achieve it. Ah yes, sir not appearing in this video game. From a technical perspective, it's kind of neat to see, because you kind of think... I mean, I thought until seeing it now that, like, the way the game kind of handled these situations where they were kind of, like, little, encapsulated, whatevers. They're... Or almost like video clips, you'd think. Oh, But it's neat to see that it kind of just takes a still frame. That's weird to find. He doesn't have gravity. He does not affect... Gravity does not affect that man. That man is very much... too much affected by gravity. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. It's cool to see how this is done.
I mean, overall, I think this is actually, like... I mean, I kind of... Even if I hate how long it takes, I think this is legitimately kind of cute. But seeing it break like this is... It's very funny.
Those guys just escaped the game. This honestly was, like, one of my favorite things about the original. I loved this ending sequence. I don't know why, I just thought it was really cool. Because in the previous games, they kind of just had all the enemies, like, scroll past. But in this one, they do something further.
If only we could tell what half of these enemies even were.
One thing I noticed even as a kid was I could recognize some bits of layout or whatever, but, like, the palettes were not always... they weren't always what they would normally be for some things, like cliffs or whatever. So I was just always curious, like, hey, there isn't a cliff level that looks like this, or that level wasn't colored this way. I guess the other thing was that certain enemies only show up, like, in this, like, or they only show up in the Lost World. The twin dudes or whatever.
Yeah, them and...
something else, maybe?
Swoopy might be the other one?
Swoopy shows up, like, there's one Swoopy that shows up in one of the forest levels, but otherwise... So I kind of was like, where are these other levels? Like, I guess I had the player's guide at the time, so it wasn't that much of a thing, but it's kind of a hint that, hey, there's a little bit more to this game than meets the eye. They sure are the underwater dudes.
Do you mean to tell me that you aren't excited to see Gleam and Bream again?
What a name. Ah, yes. My high school yearbook photos. I guess it was... they had all this nice rendered art. We may as well put it in the game. Too much effort to get the bosses coded into situations that aren't actually their rooms, I assume.
Honestly, I'm more surprised they didn't just do that. Seems like it would have been more trouble to code in the renders than it would have been to just load the boss arena again.
I don't know how it works, obviously, but I will tell you in Super Metroid, the way they have bosses coded in that game, it is fucky. And then they do this, though. You'll get it eventually, K-Rool. Yeah, like Super Metroid, they can barely go out of the rooms that they're in. You can't really create duplicates or anything like that. They have to be on specific maps. Or they have to be on specific world maps, basically, so... who knows? That damn bird.
On guard. That's a wall.
He's a fish swimming through the coral, it's fine. I'd question the ground that Squawks is flying past more than anything else. Now I can understand them not doing using the bear renders for this. Because one, there's too many of them, and B, the bears have no legs. Should I say 1 and B? Instead of 1 and 2? I was talking about the bears. I'm tired, and this is a long credits sequence.
I told you it was long. That's always been one of my biggest complaints about this.
Look, I didn't time it as a kid.
Unfortunately, after his many years serving in the Air Force, Funky Kong is affected by gravity now.
Swanky isn't. Why would Funky be affected by gravity? He doesn't move. Well, why are any of them affected by... Why was Swanky not affected by gravity?
Are you going to tell the man who lives in a barrel and runs a game show that he's not allowed to float?
I guess not. Oh boy. Time to see how this breaks. Dixie's just looking like, what is wrong with you?
Dixie isn't much better.
Ooh. Yeah, no. Funny that Kitty wasn't even loaded there. Maybe he must be set to load a certain, like, XY position.
I really want to believe that if we had somehow moved, like, if we had gone in and figured out where that was, we could have moved that bee just a little bit to the left, and she would have died in the credits.
Roundabout starts playing. To be continued.
Oh my. Anyway, that's it for Kaos Kore. Next time, it's the Lost World. Fucking just shoot me now. Jesus Christ.
Well, we'll be on hand to witness that. Lost World, here we come.